Let's see.
And you're live, by the way.
Yay. Hi! It's me, just Steph. I'm here. I'm so excited. This is a great day. It's an amazing day. It's a liberating day. Do you feel liberated?
I feel so liberated.
I know. It's nice, isn't it? Oh my gosh. So, well, I have Elaine Sterling come in a little later. Yay. All right. So, it feels so... You know, this is exact... It feels so zen.
Meditate.
Yes. It's so peaceful.
It's like all the rain that's just washing
Woo!
the negativity away.
All right, who's here?
We have Mike, Angela.
Hi, Angela. Hi, Mike. Is that... that is... I can't see from here.
Mike Meehan. Mike Meehan.
Hi, Mike. How are you? All right, we're going to go live in a couple minutes. Well, 1 minute probably. 2 minutes.
1 minute and
Let
30
me put these headphones on. I have too much hair. Oh my gosh. It's a good problem though. We didn't get your headshot.
I know.
I'm taking it today. I'm taking it today. You look great.
Oh no.
You look great.
I haven't done my hair.
It
Curly
looks
hair is such a struggle.
You good. All right, so what's everybody doing? Okay.
From fire protection
Oh, my
and first
God.
aid supplies to facility
Jeepers.
services
I
and
just got my head blown off.
Cintas helps businesses open their doors with confidence. Learn more
Jeepers. We're going to talk about freedom today.
ready for the workday.
And we're going to talk about power and what that really means. Hang tight. I got a great story.
This radio station on any smartphone or tablet, iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia,
Okay.
Samsung, Windows Phone,
This is going to be...
or whatever you have.
All right.
Free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. TuneIn with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio
Kind of a great day out, huh?
including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com or your app store.
All right, we got all these commercials. Hang tight. It's going to be a great show today. I promise you. Listen, if you want to make some real changes in your life, hang on. This is good stuff. The Just Steph Show. Here it comes. They don't make you like they used to. You're never going out of style.
This is the Just Steph Show. I'm your host, Steph Palermo, your Italian boss girl whose house shows you how to enjoy life. Right here on the Real 11
We're getting real.
a.m.
What is reality? Right?
On enhancing your life by balancing body, mind, and heart. And featuring
Living Atlanta.
Where to Be This Weekend. That's right, Getting Real on 1100 a.m. Just Steph.
Hey, I'm Reggie, the J legal expert and commentator for 680 The Fan, occasionally HLN, The Nancy Grace Show. Join me once in a blue moon, but Just Steph every week on the Just Steph Show.
That's great. Hey, this is Steph Palermo. It's the Just Steph Show. Everybody has two lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one. We are second lifers. We're empty nesters, newly single, and those starting over age 3. Your healthy, happy, hip years are just beginning. We have okay, first though, the bat phone is connected. So give me a buzz to chat today, 404-603-8770. Tell me what's going on in your life. I want to hear from you. And if you have any comments or any thoughts on any of my content, please contact me at steph@juststeph.com. You can also call into the request line. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Steph Palermo and also on Instagram. So please, if you have any questions or comments or any of that, please, I want to hear from you. I really, the thing that's different about me when it comes to being on the radio and being an empathic messenger and being a speaker and being out there is that I really, really, and I mean this, I could cry about it, I really do care about you. I really do care about each individual and your happiness, and it really means a lot to me for you to tune in and to give me your feedback and also your thoughts, and if you have any questions, of course. But we have a great show today. Elaine Sterling's coming in, and she's going to be talking about her 10 years in business here in Atlanta. She has risen to Atlanta's top esthetician, I believe, and I love her products, and I love her what she's doing here in Atlanta, and she is I believe, the quintessential female entrepreneur, and she is something to aspire to. So she'll be on a little later, but today is National Pretzel Day. Did you know that? Yeah, I just found that out today. So it's National Pretzel Day, so I don't know if anybody loves. I actually love pretzels, but I don't eat them. It's it's just too carby. Like, I make my choices. I love them. I love pretzels. But I stay away from them because of the carbs. So come up with a carb-free pretzel, and I'll eat them.
Sure, they're gluten-free.
Yeah. They have gluten-free. They do have gluten-free. Yes, they have gluten-free everything. So, but I still think it's just kind of, it's still starchy.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's very starchy, so, but whatever. So, anyway, what did I do this weekend? On Friday, I went to dinner at Southern Art in the Intercontinental Hotel, which was lovely. Oh my gosh, the food was so good. You should give it a try. It's in Buckhead. And then I headed over to Gypsy Kitchen to meet some girls. They were doing a little girls' night, and I wanted to sort of touch base and meet some nice people that I never really get to meet and go, because I'm not really doing, I'm like Archie Bunker. I sit in my same chair. I do the same things a lot of times. So I'm trying to branch out a little bit and get out there and meet some peeps when I have a chance and when I don't have my mom hat on. And then on Saturday, Bill Pope, who's my business development director, he plays in a couple bands, and so he plays in a band called Horse. I called it The Horse, but that's like, so it's Horse and Vega. I went to see him play. It was at Lemonade Days, a festival in Dunwoody, which is basically a carnival. And I went with my mom to, listen to them, and they were great, but I got to visit a couple of different tents, and, they had these really great dips. So like the dip mixes, and you could dip the pretzels in, so it was really good. And then actually, my mom and I headed over to Rumi's. I don't know if any of you have you been to Rumi's in Sandy Springs?
I haven't.
Rumi's is unbelievable, and the food is so good, but it has a really great energy. It's Persian, Middle Eastern food. It's amazing. We sat at the bar, and it was so funny. The bartender, her family she was born in Boston, in Peabody of all places, which is where my cousins are from. So that was really fun. You always meet somebody. I sort of think it's the law of attraction, in which we're going to talk a little bit about. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, personal meaning and enlightenment. I've been listening to things on Enlightenment, like YouTube and all these things. But I want to tell you a little story. Back in 2014, I was up in Maine on a beach vacation, and it was right before, I was in the midst of my divorce. It was right before my divorce was final. And I rented a cottage, and it was a cottage just a little bit, just a little bit away from the beach, because one of my best friends from Boston has a house right on the beach. So we spent our days there, my son and I, and my mom would come up. But every single day in this cottage, I got up and I cleaned the cottage because I'm a nut. And I needed, even though it was surface clean, it wasn't clean enough for me. So every day I got up, I cleaned the bathroom, I mopped the floor, and I vacuumed, made the beds, did a little laundry, and then I was free. I was mentally liberated to go to the beach. Make my cooler up and go to the beach. But I couldn't do so before. I had to clean up. And I cleaned this house every day, the same thing. And this one day, and it was sort of in the middle of my vacation, so it wasn't like I hadn't cleaned the house before. I looked down on the floor, and there was a fortune from a fortune cookie there. And I never brought Chinese food into this house. And we always ate at my girlfriend's house. We had breakfast and lunch, breakfast at the house, and then we went over to my girlfriend's house, and we always had lunch on the beach and, dinner over there. I picked up the fortune, and it said, something you've always desired. You will soon attain something you've always desired. and the first thing out of my mouth was freedom. And I started to cry. And soon thereafter, my divorce became final. And it was, all that battle was over. But I want to say something. It wasn't just being liberated from the marriage. It had a much deeper meaning for me. And that was part of it, because I was able to come out from under a rock or whatever, dark cloud, to be liberated in that sense and to grow the way I wasn't able to grow when I was in the marriage. And actually, these last years have been such a process, and you realize once you're 2, 3, 4 years out of a divorce, why people say, "Oh, you're just fresh out of it. Don't make any decisions." You know, you realize it. You get a little mad. I was mad when people would say, "Oh, yeah, you're newly divorced," and I would be mad at it because I was like, "Are you kidding me? I was out of that marriage, for 15 years while I was in it." But you realize once you get to a place where everything is just so much more peaceful and all of that has really been let go. That's freedom. It's not just freedom from like an oppressive freedom that is in your surroundings. And I'm writing a blog about this, but you'll see, if you look at some of the best philosophical literature has come from people in prison. Their surroundings have been taken away from them. They were physically incarcerated. They lost their freedom to eat what they want, go where they want, and be out there and do the things that they want to do. Sometimes, rightly so, they needed to be incarcerated, but sometimes not so rightly so, like Solzhenitsyn wrote the Gulag Archipelago from Siberia. An amazing philosophical work. But their freedom came inside them. It was inside. They were free from attachment. They had to, and I imagine that would have been a process, a loss, like dealing with loss, like the 5 stages of loss, of grief, losing things, and they have to get to the point where they're at acceptance. However, they were free from the attachment of material goods. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk about real freedom. Freedom, we're free every day as Americans. We can take a right, we can take a left, we can eat what we want, we can go here, we can go there, I can go out to Johnny's tonight, or I can go to yoga. I have a choice. I can do it, or I can stay home. I could drink wine, or I can drink vodka. I have a choice.
Or both.
Right? Or both. Well, no, then I'll be sick. I'm free, but am I attached to any of this? The attachments to the material, the attachments to that which is outside of us, is a prison. That's where you're a slave. You're a slave to it. Now, it's all good and fun, as long as everything's great. It's all a fun party. And if you keep it as a fun playground, and it doesn't bog you down, there isn't a have to, and it also doesn't take away from your purpose, and it doesn't hurt your body, then have fun. Go do it. But you're not attached to it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I go to hot yoga tonight or to Johnny's, to the anniversary party. But what matters to me, personally, is what's good for me. That's freedom. Aligning with your purpose and walking in your zone. That's when you are totally free. And here's this. You cannot truly love anybody unless you are free. You can't love anybody. You can't even love yourself. True love comes from freedom. And the other part of it is power. What is power? Power has nothing to do with being able to manipulate your surroundings. Power has nothing to do with being able to make somebody do something you want them to do. That's abuse. Or it could be abuse. It could also be that they're in your back pocket, whatever, or that they allow it. Whatever it is, power has nothing to do with being able to manipulate somebody, manipulate a situation. It has nothing to do with that. Power stems from true freedom, true detachment, and it is the ability to walk in your purpose without hesitation and without fear. Even though you might be a little afraid, you can still go through it. You walk in your purpose. You sort of ignore the fear. You need to figure out what your true purpose is. Now this is deep stuff, and I know. And you know what's so funny is because I was listening to TED Talks on enlightenment and the science behind it, and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to bring this to my audience that not only they will understand, but they will even care? Why would anybody care? Like, why does anyone care about being enlightened? And what does enlightenment mean? Enlightenment means having an awakening to your reality and the reality of your connection to the universe. That's what enlightenment is. It's just basically the curtain is raised. The drapes are drawn open and the sun comes in. That's enlightenment. Enlightenment is true. And why would anybody want to be enlightened? You know, it's funny because I've been searching for this for a long time. I've been thinking about enlightenment. I've been thinking about really being liberated from my own insecurities, my own doubt, my own fears, my own lack of esteem or lack of self-esteem and all of that. And intellectually, and the reason why I've been pursuing this is because intellectually I knew that it was true happiness. But it means letting go. Letting go of stuff. It doesn't mean you can't have the stuff in your life. You can have it, but it doesn't rock your world when it's gone. It doesn't rock your world when things don't work out the way you think they should. See, you think they don't work out for your benefit, but it is for your benefit. Just to the world, it seems like a loss. You know, I went up to Regis College to speak, and I'm going to tell this on air. This is like what seems to be a speaker's nightmare. So I went up to speak to, I don't know if I told you this.
Mm-mm.
So I did my radio show from Regis College, and my talk was supposed to be, it was right at lunchtime, which I can't for the life of me figure out why they didn't put me in the cafeteria and do like a little lunch and learn. That's, hello, this is higher education. But whatever. But my talk was supposed to be right by the cafeteria so that kids would just, because you know college kids, they just kind of go, oh, let me go in there. Whatever, they just do whatever. You know, they're going to go to lunch. And they moved me to a building that was far away from the cafeteria, which everybody is at lunch at 12:30. The whole school's at lunch. And so nobody came to the talk. Not one person.
Oh my God.
So listen, but this is, and so intellectually, well, if I went into my emotion mind, I would have said, oh God, there's something wrong with me. I'm not popular enough. You know, I'm not you know, a big giant radio star or a big giant TED Talk speaker yet. This is all happening, by the way. It's all unfolding. But what I did was immediately I went into my wise mind, my reason mind. And actually, the graduate student that was sort of helping me out, she was sort of, you know, following me around. She said, the kids in this school don't do anything. They don't do anything. And then the dean said to me that the kids, the last time they had an alumni come was ambassador to the UN, and the only reason why anybody came is because one of the professors required the students to go, and so like 10 kids went. But she had told me the day before 50 kids were going to show up. So I prepared for 50 kids, I had handouts, whatever. I actually adapted the talk to try and be college level, like why would they care about being happy? They're all happy if you, especially marijuana is legal in Massachusetts, they can do what they want, you know, whatever. Everybody's getting high and watching Netflix. They're happy, right? So nobody came. So I was like, all right, I'm going home. I could go to the Apple store anyway. So I left and I thought about it and I said, you know what would have been worse? What would have been worse is that those kids would have sat in there and they would have walked out if it wasn't for them. That would have been worse. What would have been worse is that they fell asleep. The talk wasn't for them. If it was for them, they would have been there. I am not a college speaker for college students. I'm just not. And I actually Googled college motivational speakers. It's not me. The message is not what I'm about. And so I wasn't attached. I got paid anyway. So I wasn't attached to the outcome. I was a little sad because it was like, you know, when kids play football and they work so hard all week to play, and I know you must have played football over there behind the screen, behind the glass. You imagine if you play all week, you practice all week long killing each other, and then the game's canceled on Friday night, and you don't get to play. You know, that's the fun part of it. Football is actually harder all week long than it is in the game, right? I'm guessing. I never played. But, am I right? So, that's what it was like for me. I worked so hard for that, and it was taken away, but I just went home and took a nap. So, you know, but I wasn't attached to the outcome. And I also rationalized and reasoned that this wasn't the right place for me. 2 days earlier, we were at Westminster talking to the parents, and I'm getting emails and getting put on people's websites, and the principals coming up to me, and it was the proper audience. That's detachment. It's detachment. That's freedom. That could have rocked my world, especially as someone who's coming out, just sort of really, although I've been building my brand and doing speaking engagements all along, I'm just really now feel like I'm coming out of the gate. And this could have rocked my world. I could have, gone into a little depression over it because, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. You feel kind of bad about that stuff. But, I think that you have to be detached from all of the events that are around you. And if you want power, walk in your zone. Because really the only one you have power over is yourself. And I think about that. I think about people who keep themselves in the victim mode. And I go, ugh. Because I know I've been there. And I'm saying this not from a place of condemnation, but a place of having been there. And I look back and I go, oh, I was so weak. Yuck. It's embarrassing. Get out of the victim mode. Stop blaming your environment. Stop blaming yourself. Stop blaming other people. Just start forgiving and moving on, because if you're blaming, and if you're still in a place where you're mad and angry over something or someone, you're in the victim mode, and it's weak. Get a backbone, put on your big girl panties and your big boy boxers, and move on. It's keeping you down. It's an anchor. You got luggage. Let it go so you can fly. That's where you're in your power. Take your power back. Own it. Be who you are. Understand that there is a connection between you and the universe. You have a universal purpose here. Whatever that is. I don't care if you're a garbage collector. If that's your purpose, to keep my stuff, get rid of my stuff and keep it clean, that's a service. Talk about garbage. Today's garbage day at my house. It's my favorite day. Besides the fact that I come here, I love garbage day because I can't stand garbage. It's so disgusting. My son, I said, can you just take this bag downstairs? He goes, I won't say the word he said, but he said basically, it smells like poop. Garbage always, I go, that's right, that's why it's garbage. We're getting rid of it, right? If you're a garbage man, or if you're, or even whatever you're doing, if you're walking in your zone and you're living in your purpose, if you're aligned to who you are, who cares what you're doing? If you're happy, you're happy. That's the only place where you are truly happy, is when you're liberated from the shackles of the extraneous. Liberate yourself. You know what? And here's I wrote a blog a couple of weeks ago, This Girl's on Fire, and I talked about how do you get to that place where you're feeling groovy? How do you get to that place where every day you get up? Because there was a time where I didn't want to get out of bed. I can cry about it. There was a time when I didn't want to face the next day. There was a time when the pain was so bad inside of me that I said, death has got to be better than this. So how do you move from that place, or somewhere even further along where, yeah, you might be content, or it might be complacent, not content. Content is actually a better place to be, but where you're complacent and everything just seems to be okay, and it's just copacetic, just there. It's just par. How do you get from either being in the doldrums and in the gutter, or being at par, just, it's all right, my life's all right, to waking up every day and feeling amazing? That, oh my gosh, this is an amazing life. That you're tiptoeing through the tulips, you're finding fun and feeling groovy. How do you get there? You have to desire it. You have to want it. You have to say, this is not enough for me. I want more. Not more stuff, not more money, because I get, you know what? I think that'll all come. I think it all comes. When you're doing what you love, the money will follow. It will come. You have to want it. You have to desire it. You have to pursue true contentment, peace, and joy. Pursue it. And then you have to persevere. So what does that mean? Persevere means as you're pursuing, you'll come up with trials and tribulations that will come into your world where you basically have to do the weeding. And if you don't do the weeding, the universe will. People will walk away from you because you're too positive. People are afraid of the light. Misery loves company. People will walk away from you. People will even say, oh, I knew you back then. Who do you think you are? You'll start to attract positive things, but as you're going through, you're actually having to weed out. You're going to have to change your thinking, and you have to persevere through that. And once you work through that perseverance, then you can get to that place where you can breathe, where you can laugh from your toes and it's real, where you just are you're grateful. Everyone says, oh, be grateful. You have to be grateful. Well, there was a time in my life where I couldn't be grateful. I mean, I was grateful that nobody was sick and dying, but I was so unhappy that I didn't have the energy. I was putting so much energy into all that I didn't have the energy to be grateful. Even though inside I was happy that I had food on the table and I had clothes on my back and all that stuff. And I was. And I know you all know what I'm talking about. But when you go do the DPP method, desire, pursue, and persevere, you will wake up every day and go, oh my gosh, this is an amazing life. All right, kids, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the Just Steph rules of dating. And this one is for the birthday peeps, Zay Hill, Bill Starrett, Sean Daly, and Frank Shapano. Happy birthday, peeps. You know I love ya. Oh, hey. Okay, let's say hi. Who's here? Hi, Adam. Hi, Matt. Bill. Hi, Tony. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Blake. Hi, Gary. Hi, Maria. How you feeling, honey? AM team. What is that? AM team. Mike and Angela. Hi, Gina Romanello. Hi, Douglas Cameron. I don't know who this is. Kid Eric. Hi. Here we go.
Hi, guys.
Yay. Okay. That was a rant. How'd everybody like that rant?
That was great.
You think?
Yeah, I wanted to move it closer, but I didn't want to.
You know what? We gotta get that. We gotta harness that MP3. Just that part of it. We'll put Marshall over.
Right, just come with some equipment.
Yes. So stay tuned. We're gonna talk about are men afraid of successful women? What is? Oh, that's you. Yes. You love everybody. I love it. No, that's the thing with me, and I mean this. Like, that's the difference with me. Like, I really, like, when I think about it, I could like cry about it. Like, I really care about every person's individual growth and journey and happiness. And not to the point where I'm attached to it, like it doesn't affect my happiness because I'm happy with me, but I feel like, and I think it just happens to go along with being an empathic messenger, that I understand their journey. I actually feel it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not with everybody, if it's allowed. I sort of think I have to get out of the way when I see things go. So,
Paul Olivia agrees with the message today.
thanks, Paul. I guess you know we cannot see each other in person. I guess you know we cannot see the other person. What does that mean?
Who?
Paul Oliva. Okay.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
All right, so I'm back. I'm just still getting used to all this timing. Okay, so we're going to talk about are men afraid of successful women, and this is dating advice for second lifers and the Just Steph rules of dating. Okay, so I got this article off of, I think it was, I can't remember which, it was Boston 100, I think. And I get a bunch of stuff in my emails, and I try and peruse them and see what would be helpful and beneficial for everybody. And, since Vinny Costa on Facebook is always posting the question of the day. And so I said, come on, Vinny, it was some stupid question I thought. But I said, let's talk about what's real. Basically, what women, successful women, strong women, are they accepted by men, both in the workforce and in personal relationships? So it says here, a recent Columbia University experiment concluded that men value intelligence and ambition in their female counterparts up to a certain point. The study found that when men's self-esteem dropped, men's self-esteem dropped when their female coworkers were smarter or more successful. So I guess there's an assumption there that, she's more successful, I'm unsuccessful. So basically I thought, well, this could be interesting to talk about here on the show, because I have a pretty strong personality, and I'm very opinionated, as you can see. However, when it comes to relationships, I'll say my point, but I like a partnership. I like an alpha male. I want somebody who can take charge. I want someone who can say, because I actually, I have this, the four criteria to sit at my table, like who deserves to sit at my table, because I know what I bring. But it took me a long time to get there. So when you know your value, you basically know what kind of a person you want sitting at your table. And can you sit at the table? Can you sit at my table? And do you deserve to be at my table? Well, I've had men say to me, I'm not smart enough. Okay, yeah, all right. I get that. Then you're probably not supposed to sit at my table. But I think what happens is with men, they get intimidated by women who are strong. And instead of embracing it and saying, oh my gosh, this lady could be a great partner because she's so bright, we could advance together. And that's really what that is. And we talked about power and what real power is in the last segment. And if you're aligned with your purpose and you're walking in your zone and you're liberated from the attachments of the stuff and you're happy, you're going to start to attract like-minded people. And you'll attract and when you be yourself, your total self, whether it's you're a successful businesswoman, an entrepreneur, whatever you are, if you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever you are, if you're walking in your zone, whatever you're doing, you will attract the right people in your life, as long as you're walking in your zone. And when it comes to dating, the only thing that matters is authenticity. The true freedom is loving yourself, being authentic, not being tied to all the other stuff. And when you do that, you'll attract a person who finds that attractive. They will be attracted to you and attracted to your light. They will recognize it and appreciate it, and boom, you have a match, right? I think that, that you have to have somebody who not only accepts it and sees it and recognizes it, but they receive it as well. Because you're a gift and you're giving back. So when it comes to powerful women who are very bright, I think they get a bad rap with men because they think they're aggressive. And there's a very there are aggressive women out there. I listened to a podcast from Candy O'Terry up in Boston, and she was interviewing a lawyer, and it was an amazing story. However, she was talking about back in the day when they were wearing skirts but they were wearing ties to try and dress like men. See, you don't have to be like a man. Women don't need to take on masculine qualities to be successful. If they just be themselves, tap into them, who they are, align with their purpose, tap into that feminine genius, the intuition, the great part of being a woman, the nurturing part, the caring part, the part that is the sort of mom. And I'm not talking about weakness here. I'm talking about the intuition of a woman is far greater than that of a man. And I'll tell you what, I have conversations every day with my boyfriend Eddie up in Boston, and he'll say, oh, so-and-so is sick. I go, what's wrong with them? And he goes, I don't know. I didn't ask those questions. Men don't ask the questions. He said to me today, oh, I'm going to go to my friend's house Saturday night and watch the Bruins game with the kids because his wife is out of town. I go, where'd she go? He goes, I don't know. That's me caring about each person. That doesn't, I'm very opinionated, I'm bright, I'm doing my thing, I'm walking in my zone, I'm aligned with my purpose, I'm doing all that stuff, and I'm still being a woman. I'm still tapping into that feminine genius. Because we are geniuses. You know that, right? Out there. The problem is men need to get a backbone. But they're confused. And it's rightfully, you know what, it's not even all their fault. Because they don't know what to do. Men have been, they had this place where they lorded it over women, and they still do, don't get me wrong. I'm not getting into this feminine stuff. But then now you have women who have come out of the labor and delivery room of just having babies and taking care of the kids in the household to being a viable, important, integral part of corporate America. And all of that goes with that. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, professors, scientists, whatever you are as a woman. So we've come from that place. So men are a little confused, I think, as to how they're supposed to deal. And it makes them maybe feel a little bit inferior when a woman is maybe making more money than they are, or they're in a position of power that they perceive, in the corporate ladder, that they perceive as they're not as successful. But here's the thing. Like I said before in the last segment, real power comes from aligning to your purpose. It doesn't come from your place in your company. It doesn't come from being a place of telling people what to do and where to go. It comes from a place of walking in your zone and aligning with your purpose, because true leaders are servers. A true leader is a giver. And if men can just understand that and appreciate that, and if women could, because there's two sides to every story. This isn't just about men having no backbone. Women have to be okay where they're at. And be who they are, and don't try to be something that you're not, so that you will attract the right person. You'll attract the man that appreciates you, that appreciates your brain and your beauty. And I'm not talking about your outer beauty, your inner beauty. Because I don't know about all of you, but I've read a lot of things where it says, you see when you realize how beautiful the world is, you'll realize how beautiful you are. No. It's the opposite. When you recognize your greatness, your own amazingness, you will see the beauty in everybody around you. And you will accept them and love them unconditionally where they're at. And that makes for a perfect partner in a relationship. Because you are okay with you. When I came out of my, divorce, I said, I'm never going to be dependent on another man. Ever. Financially. Ever. Because that's what was lorded over me. The money. I birthed 4 kids and took care of them and raised them for 20 years, and I did nothing for the family. I did nothing. So I came out with it, but now I'm happy, we'll just meld, and here's the thing, I believe that men should be men. By God, go into your pocket, please, and pay for the dinner. Please, don't be cheap. I can't stand it. Drives me nuts. Pick up a drink, for God's sake, for somebody else. What is wrong with this place? It infuriates me. When I go home to Boston, I never pay for a drink. Everybody picks it up. Oh, I get this round. I get that round. All the men in the room are picking up the rounds for everybody. What is wrong with Georgia? Please, stop being so cheap. But anyway, but I like also being able to contribute in that way as well. I'll do this, you do that. It's a partnership. And if you understand that with a powerful and bright woman, give her the credit. And girls, don't acquiesce. Don't settle. Because there is a man out there that is perfect for you, and they're going to appreciate you for your inner and outer beauty, for your presence, for your brain, for your feminine genius, for your intuition, because you're going to help guide the partnership. The roles are equal but different. Everybody comes to the table with their own gifts and bringing everything together so that you can walk side by side, not one in front of the other, side by side to the end. That's what I want. I want somebody that is going to be, I don't want to be dating 8 million, 10 guys, trying to figure out which, whatever. I like one solid guy with a backbone who happens to be very good looking, I'm just saying. All right. So anyway, that's my rant on powerful women. Be who you are. Be who you are. Take a risk, be vulnerable, share your heart and love always. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, Elaine Sterling and her story. And this one is for Maria Murphy, April Yarcidas, Linda Salvo Wilson. Thanks for liking my Just Steph page. All right. All right. Will you bring Elaine is here? Hi, Carol. Hi, Jeff. Okay. Oh, I like this song. I love this song. Hi, honey. I'm good. Come on in. We'll take pictures after if you don't mind.
Perfect. How are you?
I'm good. You look, yeah, they're here. How you feeling? You look great. You look beautiful as always. Well, I think not. I would never expect anything less. So, oh my gosh, how exciting! 10 years. I can't wait to hear all about it. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it again.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
I
I'm
know.
having a DJ,
Oh, fun!
music,
Yay!
and we're having a lot of silent auction stuff.
Fun. Fun. Yeah, I can't wait. And I tried that HSA serum. You told me to get it. I think you told me to
Oh,
get
did you
it.
try it?
Oh, yeah, I bought it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Are you kidding me? My whole,
Your whole bathroom is Elaine
well,
Sterling.
you know what? Right at my sink, I have everything lined up.
We mustn't break up because then you'd be like looking at me, right? Like, damn. So I bought you my new Mandelic serum.
I saw that. Yeah, when do you use this?
At night time, but only start 1 time a week at night
Okay,
because it is 10% acid.
okay.
So, and it's great for hyperpigmentation, fine lines and wrinkles. And then you can build up, it's kind of like an AHA retinol on steroids.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
So, and it's got quite a punch. So I would say once a week in
Once
the
a week.
evening.
Right,
And,
okay. I love it.
and
I saw
the
that.
you know, also it's great for the uneven texture and
Okay,
tone.
good.
I know that, yeah, but your skin looks great.
Thank you. I've been doing hot yoga. I think it helps. You know, you sort of get out of the impurities.
Well, it made me feel sick. I must be so toxic. I did hot yoga and I felt, every time I did it, I felt sick for a week.
You have to really properly hydrate, and I think coconut water is really good for hydration before you go in.
So this is going to be good for you if you feel sick.
Well, if you don't feel good, you can't do it. How long? 20 seconds. Okay. I love this song. I played it before, but it's good.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, that's all right. It's all good. You don't remember. Okay. You just meet me in the middle. All right, we're back, and I have my dear friend Elaine Sterling. Elaine, welcome back. Thank you.
I love being here. Are you kidding me?
It's so fun, isn't it? It's great. I love it. So I'm excited because you've been in business 10 years, and I know we've told your story here a couple of times, or you did, but you know, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about, you know, way back in South Africa before you, you know, what made you get into, you know, aesthetics, wanting to be an esthetician?
Well, I was one of those children that kind of had learning disabilities and stuff, and so I was not a candidate for a 4-year college degree. It was not going to work.
Right.
But I did love the theatre, and I was kind of one of those gifted children. And I went to a Johannesburg School of Art, Ballet and Music, and I studied drama, and I was doing ballet as well. So I always thought if I didn't make it on the stage, I could do theatrical makeup.
Right.
So it's that kind of, and then when I went to beauty school, I found out that I think a lot of people do, I had really good hand skills.
Right.
So it morphed into really working as a massage therapist and esthetician. And then what I love about, I think I've incorporated a lot of what I call the love for theatre in, I call it the theatre of the spa experience. Mm-hmm. So when you come to my school, you get kind of, I have themed rooms, and I try and add as much of that experience into my treatment rooms and into my school and into the classroom as I can.
Right.
So that's kind of how it all kind of, you know, I was always kind of obsessed with beauty. When I was a teenager, I had Bell's palsy, so half my face was paralyzed. So, you know, I kind of didn't like how I looked as a teenager. That was hard. But also I was the face of Wet n Wild Cosmetics for like 5 minutes. So I have those 2 pictures from that shoot. So I have a passion for makeup and fashion, style and beauty.
Right.
And so I feel so blessed that I'm able to incorporate all of those things into what I do.
So, I mean, just talking about all that, because a lot of women don't feel beautiful. And I feel like, and, you know, this is through my own journey, is that, you know, what you do in the spa, when you go to get a treatment, you're really going to enhance, that you're taking care of you. It's, you know, putting your own oxygen mask on because you already feel beautiful, and nobody can make you beautiful, but you have to, it comes from the inside.
Right.
So what would you say to women who are not really feeling good about themselves, you know, that are, you know, they feel fat, ugly, they say these things, and I get it because I've been there, but what would you say in terms of how to maybe move past all that?
Well, I think women are our worst enemies, because every time I go somewhere, the first thing somebody will say to me is, wow, Elaine, it looks like you've lost weight. And I thought, well, I wasn't really that big to begin with. I mean, I don't really know if I've lost weight, but I think, it's like, isn't that funny? It's the first thing, like, my friends, or I'll walk into the classroom and the girls will say, wow, Elaine, you look like you've lost weight. And I was like, really? I don't know. So I think we need to stop doing that. Right? To women. Like, no, oh, have you changed your hair color? Or what have you done differently with your eyes? I mean, I think we're so judgmental of ourselves and others. But I will say the most incredible beauty tip for women is confidence. When a woman is confident, she is beautiful. So it's not really about the outside. Because how many, let's say, quote unquote, beautiful women have you seen, met, or seen on television and like, ugh, you know, she's a bit of a jerk, you know, as long as she doesn't open her mouth. You know, we say this under our breath, we don't admit we're saying it. We say, so it's really the confidence, you know, that is beautiful. And then the rest of it is how you feel about yourself. I always say God never made an ugly woman. Sorry, guys. It's true. You know, it's like we are so beautiful, but we're so hard on ourselves. And the idea of perfection as well. You know, like I put my hair up in a ponytail the other day, and the student said to me, "Oh wow, you look so young." I was like, "Did I look old to begin with?" That was my immediate thought. You know, but they're not thinking that. They're just thinking how nice I looked. But that's what comes out, right? Didn't know I looked so old with my hair down.
Well, I definitely think you know, and I think women have a hard time giving other women compliments. You know, one night I sat at the bar at Hal's and I looked at this young girl and I looked at her and I said, you're so beautiful. And she said, you know what, I've just had a really bad day. You just made my day. And
to say thank you.
You know,
when I say your hair looks beautiful, thank you, instead of, oh God, yes, you know what happened, you know, we go into a story, right?
Well, we're trying to, you know, justify or maybe even downplay, you know, that. And I always say, and I say this in my workshops, would you tell your best friend you're fat, ugly, and stupid? You know, would you do that? And if you're, and really you need to become your own best friend. Because who knows better how to take care of yourself better than you do? So, I mean, I think it's kind of tough. So I think that women in general have to stop being so self-defeating.
Can you imagine in 30, 40, or 50 years' time when you're 82, 92, and you look at pictures of you sitting in here and you'll say, oh my God, look how gorgeous I looked, right? You know, so I always had very low self-esteem because I never looked like the other girls in the class, right? Because I have a very sort of Russian, European look, and all the other girls looked so, you know, different to me. And I always thought I was ugly. And then now I look at pictures when I was 16 and 18, I was like, God, I was gorgeous.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, it's one of those things that you have. I mean, it's like what I've been talking about, and when I talk all about this, about aligning with your true purpose and walking in your zone. When you do that, you know, you are liberated from the shackles of not just being attached to material goods, but also being attached to the world's opinions or the world's standards. You know, what people think or what people say. You're your best judge because you should be. When I say judge, I mean you're supposed to be taking care of you.
It's just noise. I call it noise.
It is noise.
And it's going to stop you from reaching your full potential if you listen to it, right? Because that's what the world kind of does. It kind of breaks you down, right?
I talked about that in my blog. More by the real standards is less by the world standards. So more is less. So it's less noise. You know, less stuff.
Stay focused.
Yeah,
you know,
it's focus.
I think the biggest thing I'm excited about my 10th anniversary is just looking at all of my staff members, my team members, my faculty, my instructors, my clinic team, and that I went from me, one person, to, let's say, 25, 30 staff members, and that they're working for the school, and the school is supporting them and building their dream and assisting them, and I think that gives me such immense pleasure that I have people that believe in the vision, but I'm able to give them jobs and sustainable jobs, you know, and careers, and that to me I don't take lightly. That's very humbling.
And you know, I love that. I was you probably didn't hear when you were on your way here, but I was saying that you're somebody to aspire to because of what you've done, and, being a female entrepreneur. I'm amazed. Like, it's one thing to start a business and open a store and maybe, but that your own line of skincare is amazing. Like, that to me, I just want to bow. Like, I'm like, this is amazing, and it's wonderful products. I love it anyway, but, that's me. I love all your stuff. My bathroom's filled with, your name is all over my bathroom, I just want to say.
Thank you. And what I love about it is, like, yesterday I took my girlfriend Margie out for dinner because it was her birthday, and I didn't have any makeup on, and we took pictures and I posted them to Facebook. We didn't touch them up, and I was like, oh my, that's so nice when you can wear no makeup and your skin looks great,
right,
and you feel good. It's not. I didn't intend not to wear makeup, but it was just one of those days when you're running, And that's what I like, is that can the skincare you're using give you a flawless canvas, and that's, and the makeup just, it just enhances what you already have. But if you don't feel like wearing makeup, a brown, a lip, it's the skin that's important. I think.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. So, how did you get from one person to 25, 30 employees and an amazing school and spa, and just really making I think you've made a major impact on Atlanta. So how did you get there?
Well, there's two phases. How did I get there and where I'm going from here? Because there is more that's coming. But what I did was I was prepared to, do you love that show Vikings? Do you watch the show Vikings on the History Channel? Oh my God, Rathgar. Do you watch Vikings? Oh, it's incredible. First of all, the women and men in there are beautiful. But, it's very violent. And the Vikings were violent, but I think of being in business as a battlefield.
Right.
And it gets a little bloody, right? Because business is not for the faint of heart, but it's not kind, and it's not loving, and it's pretty ugly. So you've got to be willing to go to the front line. You've got to be willing to battle, and you've got to be willing to lick your wounds when you get cut and stabbed and whatever, and then get up the next morning and go into the trenches, right? And not and not let it get you. So that's what I've been able to do. And some ideas haven't worked, some have, and I stuck true to the vision.
Right.
I didn't falter. Now, I was able to evolve my business as the world changes and marketing changed and branding changed. And,
the whole social media is big.
How people purchase and buy, and all of that has changed. So I've been able to move with that. But I was telling we had a staff meeting yesterday, and I was trying to get them to know where we're going in the next 10 years. And I was saying is that the one thing that I did different to everybody else is I didn't copy anybody. I know that some have copied me, but I didn't copy anybody. I took my own vision and I took it into fruition, but every year, every 6 months, every 3 months, I said, how can I outdo myself? And that's what I challenged my staff members, my team members yesterday to say, think of your department, wherever you work in the company as your own business. How can you outdo yourself tomorrow, the next day, next month? So I said, if being competitive is an Olympic sport, I'd be a gold winner, right? Because how can you outdo yourself? What can you do differently, better, smarter, faster than you did last week, last month, last year? And that's what I do. I take stock. I do a vision board or a vision card every December of my personal and professional. And I really believe your personal and professional life has to be in alignment.
Right.
And when your personal life is not in alignment with your professional life, your professional life will suffer. I did have a bad time in my personal life in 2015, and my business did suffer. And when I worked on my personal life, the incredible growth that my company's had. I also believe in if you've got to hire the right people.
Right.
Hiring the wrong person can destroy your business. And it's really the people. I can't do it alone anymore.
Right.
So I need the people to take me to where I want to go.
So, I've been, talking about all of this in terms of, being motivated and doing what you love. I think that if you're waking up on Monday dreading your day, that's a bad sign. Or if you're saying, thank God, I think if you're loving what you're doing, you're going, thank God it's Monday. I'm back doing what I love, because it's your playground. I mean, how
Right.
is that something that's, in your sort of framework?
Well, I think we all live for the weekend, isn't there
Right.
a song? But I love creating. So yes, I've created a space for myself. You've created a space for yourself where we can be creative,
Right.
and that feeds us. But I would say that some people may be in their career because they can do incredible things on the weekend or travel or whatever.
Right.
But yes, every day I thank God that I am in something that I have so much passion for, and that I can create stuff, and if it doesn't work, I'll be like, okay, that didn't work. And sometimes the stuff that doesn't work, the lessons take me to the next plateau,
Right.
to the right place. So we're very lucky. I mean, that's all I can say. Yeah.
Right.
Every day, and when I go away, I miss it. And
Right.
So I can't wait. But even on the weekends, I'm kind of working, creating. So.
Right, you're thinking about stuff and all
Yeah.
that. I mean, and you can't get away from it, because for you, you're using your stuff every day. I mean, you just.
It's all I've used. I started my line 10 years ago, and we're actually putting a big focus on Elaine Sterling skincare this year. But I only use Elaine Sterling skincare, and
Me too.
yeah, and it just makes a huge difference to the skin, and that canvas.
So, how many years has the school been in business?
10 years.
So everything's 10 years. You started everything right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The skincare line and the school.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing to do both.
Yeah, I stacked the skincare in my dining room in boxes
Right.
until the school was open, and then I had it in my school before the school opened. I was actually just doing facials in the school, and then one of my girlfriends stopped by, talk about women supporting women, and she said, I want to be the first person to buy one of your products.
Oh, I love that.
'Cause
I get chills.
Yeah,
So
because I
sweet.
believe in supporting you, Elaine, and so I remember that. So a lot of times I will go, if somebody opens a spa or a restaurant or something, I'll go and eat there and pay whatever, because I think it's kind of paying it back, paying
Right.
it forward, so I'll never forget that, and that always resonates with me when my girlfriends start a business or are doing something.
Right.
Just like, when you asked me, hey, can I have space for my class,
Right.
your coaching thing, I said, absolutely.
Right.
And
I
that's
love it.
that's
Thank
what's it's paying it forward, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I agree. I agree, and it's women supporting women as well. I think it's important to do that and to not have any negative vibes.
Well, I've always believed in business, the more you give, the more you get back. So I've always given, even before I had my school, as much spare time I had to supporting other businesses or giving back to the community or giving back to especially the spa industry that I love, I will do it, because it's just metaphysical. It comes back to you.
What you put out is what you get back.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
In business, it's huge.
So tell us about the celebration. What's going on? What's
Right.
happening?
So it's going to be so cool. So it's at May 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's a Saturday. It's an open house. We are going to have different stations. We're having a music DJ. We're having local, because I believe in supporting local. So we're having local food, drinks, treats, appetizers. That's going to be fun. We're having a silent auction. So we've got some doctors giving away Botox and fillers, and giving away a series of hydrofacials. There's going to be a silent auction with a trip to Tuscany and a trip to some other island. And all of the proceeds from the silent auction is going to 3 Keys, which is sort of Rosalind Carter's initiative for, it's housing for people that have mental illnesses and issues, to be able to support them I haven't been drinking yet, I can't speak today, transition back into the community.
Right.
So all the provisions from the silent auction is going to that. So we're still
great.
collecting prizes for that.
Nice.
But there'll still be door prizes. Also, there'll be different stations. We'll have the instructors there. We'll have local businesses that will have tables there. You'll be able to do makeup demonstrations, and it'll be just a whole lot of fun stuff to come and experience the school, ask questions, network, and have a fun time and hang.
I'm excited. I'll be there.
I'm also going to do a little Q&A session, and we'll be posting more to social media about the silent auction and the agenda. But I'm going to do a little 30-minute thing talking about my business, and a Q&A for female entrepreneurs or any entrepreneurs that would like to ask me some questions, kind of some how-tos.
Right.
So that'll be one of the classrooms too.
That's amazing. I love it. So will it be, which building will it be
It'll
in?
be in Building E,
Okay.
4840 Roswell Road. We're also opening the 4th floor, because I have a 4th floor that we've just taken on. So it'll
Nice.
be Building E level 1, 2, and 4. So it'll also be the launch of the 4th floor, which includes a micro market for the students, a living library, 2 offices, a classroom, and a breakout room.
Nice.
So we'll be launching that too.
So what do you think? Do you think the next step is going to be like your own building?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah,
I get chills.
I know.
Wow.
So we again, it's metaphysical about it. I mean, if it's meant to be, I'd like, because we're in 3 buildings right now. I'd really like to be in 1 building.
Right.
And so it'll be a lot easier for the staff and the students. But I love being in Sandy Springs, and I feel very blessed for what the buildings have given me. And I don't think I'll ever leave Sandy Springs, so there'll
Right.
always be a school there.
Right.
But I really do
It's
want.
a great location.
Oh yeah, love it. But I do want my own building as well. So I want to be the global leader in spa education.
There you. I think you know what. I think you already are. That's it. Just say it. I am.
Yeah, I think they certainly think I'm one of the leaders.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it, and I'm like, yay.
And online education, distance learning. That's the next phase.
Wow.
For people that wanted the theory, they can do online, and then they can come in for the clinicals.
Right.
So about 50% of the program can be done online. That's going to be in about.
That's great for the moms, like the stay-at-home mom. If you know, especially if you're young and you want to do that.
Right.
That's
The
amazing.
state says 90 days, but with them you never know. It could be 3 months, could be 6 months.
Right.
You know, it goes to the Secretary of State, and then it goes back to the State Board, and then they got to fix this. So that'll also relieve the parking and all of that. And I think it's the next phase. We already have an online learning platform as it is, so it's going to be really easy for us to transition.
Right. I
So,
love it.
yeah.
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We'll make sure that we announce it. I think I shared it on Living Atlanta, on my Facebook Living Atlanta page, so the event. So we'll make sure that week we remind people.
Yeah, we're going to invite our alumni, all our Spark clients. Lynn Ross is giving a prize for silent auction, so all of our vendors, just the community that has I've been a part of, this awesome career that I've created.
10 years is great, and it's amazing.
But there's still one more thing I'm doing.
Tell me. Oh,
So-
wait. We have more?
Yeah.
What is it?
Are we done?
No.
Okay, next time. The skincare line. I'm opening up a platform for. That's all I'm going to say for the Elaine Sterling skincare. So there's going to be an exciting thing that's going to happen.
Oh, so we don't get to know the announcement.
No, well, you have to have them back.
Okay. Wow, that's a given anyway. My goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I know now I'm not even going to ask you if you're coming back, because you are.
I know.
You have to. Now you have to.
And I used the Mandelic last night, and I'm glowing, so I'm excited for you to use it.
I'm excited too. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come
Goodbye.
back, Living Atlanta. This song goes out to my Boston birthdays: Tony DeSimone, Mike Connors, Alyssa Pascantilli Tizano, and Claudia Gillis. Happy birthday, Boston. Love you.
Love you, ESI.
Okay. So, do you want to take a picture now, or do you want to hang?
You take a picture now?
Okay.
Yeah, then I can go.
Then you can go.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick picture.
Where do you want the picture?
Yeah, can we do? Yeah, we'll do it real quick.
Front of the Paris?
In front of
there's
the-
a little thing out there.
Yeah, there's a little thing out there. Oh my God, it's sweaty. All right, we'll be right back, people. Oh my God. We'll be right back. Are you going to do that, Garrett? Oh, that's fine.
Don't pick up the phone,
Thank you. Okay, we're back. All right, kids, we're back. I'm back. All right, I'm back. Let me say hi. Who's here? That was a great story. Hi, Dia. Let me put my glasses on so I can see. Hi, Omi. Hi, Claire. Hi, Paul. All right. And Kristen Bryan. Hi, honey. This is Kristen on Sunday. Hey. All right. So. Love you. Okay. So, we just have living in Atlanta will be DUN for the day. Yay. All right. I can relax from that rant. That was great. So what does All right. All right, what's everybody doing? Now all the fun stuff going on in and around town. That was an amazing story. I love her. I love her. What a great show today. I hope everybody liked it because I did. I guess it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I liked it. I had a great time. I don't know about all of you. We got 1 minute with that. Okay.
I'm talking about shit and see what we set up. See cameras? We're all like zooming on you now.
Oh, yay.
I think that'll look better. Yeah. So we can make like a little show out of it.
All right, let's do it. We're going to start the live stream on Facebook.
And we can. Yeah, it's already like put up previews. We can
Yay.
make it look like
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm so good to get this on.
20 seconds. Okay, we're going to hang tight, kids. We're going to find out what's going on this weekend. I got to be quick.
Gonna spit some fire.
Yeah. That's all right. I want this to be less anyway. All right, kids, I'm back. And you wanted to know where to go this weekend, and you've been waiting for Living Atlanta. Don't believe me, just watch. All right, kids, so you know my spiel. Drink responsibly, drive responsibly, call Uber, call a cab, call Lyft, call designated driver, call a friend, leave your car at the valet. Please don't drink and drive. Don't be stupid, and I mean it. It's going to cost you more money and, driving, whatever, getting arrested than it would for Uber or whatever. So please don't do it. If you're going to have 2 drinks or more, please do not drink and drive. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, but I have my mom hat on this weekend, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing because I can't do anything until I know what is going on in the home front. So I will figure that out, but wherever I'm at, there I'll be, right? All right, so Deb Bowman is, she's all done with Little Mermaid, and she is going to be back at Bread and Butterfly, but this Sunday, she's going to be at Venkman's for she's doing a big thing with her Big Love Band, and you know what? I think I just contradicted myself. That's where I'm going. I'm going there Sunday night to see her. I'm making plans Sunday night to do that. So that's where I'm going to be. And of course, DJ Vanessa Hunley is at G's tonight doing Musicology, which is themed karaoke, and on Wednesday she's at Metro Cafe Diner downtown. From 8:30 to 3 a.m. doing karaoke. I don't know how she stays up that late in the week, but she does it. There is the Laughing Skull Comedy Festival, April 26th. It's today through the 29th. It's 70 comedians, 30 shows, 6 venues, 4 days, 1 million laughs. Venues include the Laughing Skull, City Winery, Smith's Soul Bar, Red Light Cafe, Village Theater, and the Relapse Theater. So it's LaughingSkullComedyFestival.com. So if you're if you're wanting a few laughs, you can check that out. It's all weekend long. There's always music, live music every night at Dixie Tavern, City Winery, Venkman's, and of course at Venkman's on Tuesday is the Joe Granson Free Jazz Jam, and Smithsville Bar, 37 Main. At Smithsville Bar, I think there's something going on tonight at Smithsville Bar. It's a gig. They're out of LA. And 37 Main, Mad Life Stage and Studios. Now tonight, the Big Catch in Buckhead is it tonight's their first night? Is it their first patio party? Because they do this every year at 5 p.m. It's Thursdays. I think it might be all year. All season, but maybe it's Thursdays in April. It's their patio party, and tonight they're specializing with grilled lobster. Lobster. Say it right. Lobster. There's a Heritage in Sandy Springs. It's Vino on the Veranda at 6 p.m. and it's a mixer event, and so that's going to be. I think it's wine tasting and all of that. Joe Granson's going to be there, and Kenny Banks. So that'll be a lot of fun. The W Atlanta in Midtown. At 6 p.m. is Umbrella Street. Come step undercover at Atlanta's first Umbrella Street. Join us to experience local artists, live music, silent disco. Now, what's a silent disco? That's interesting. Anyway, so there's all that going on in Midtown. Gordon Biersch Brewery has a 6 p.m. business happy hour networking social event, and that's in Buckhead, and that's at 6 p.m. 3 Sheets.
I know what a silent disco is.
What is it?
It's you go to it's a bar or club, but everyone is wearing headphones and hearing music just through headphones. Everyone has a pair of wireless headphones. They can hear the music. You can change to different DJs or whatever. And it's so if you're in one of those places, you can talk to someone else without having to yell because everyone is listening to the headphones.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I would like that. I don't know. Well, that's kind of weird. Like, imagine if you're listening to a different song and you have a different beat going than everybody else. That's kind of funny.
If they have if you're listening to a particular mix or whatever, your headphones have a certain light, it'll be red. And so you'll listen to that mix, or someone else may have green, or someone else may have blue.
Oh, so you sort of gravitate towards the color. That's interesting. So that's really good. Thank you for that, Greg. That's good information. Now, 3 Sheets at 6 p.m. is Mardi Gras Madness. It's a Speakeasy 7-year anniversary event. That's tonight. Smithsville Bar is Animal Years. That's it. That's at 7 p.m. Animal Years is going to be there tonight. Mad Life in Stage and Studio in Woodstock. 7:30 is the Scooter Brown Band, and Johnny's Hideaway tonight is at 8 p.m. It's their 39th anniversary party, and there's going to be open bar and food for everybody from it's 8 to 10 or something like that. It'll be a lot of fun at Johnny's. You can't miss it. Thursday night at the Regent is your tunes by Grace Lamour, and that's from 8 to 12. Okay, now what's going on Friday? Park Tavern in Piedmont Park is 7 p.m. Yacht Rock Review performs Purple Rain. So it's a Prince. I wore all purple the other day in my workout. I dedicated my workout to Prince. So I love Prince. So Mad Life Stage and Studio has the Led Zeppelin tribute at 7:30. Jimmy's Tequila and Carney's on Peachtree Industrial. It's 9 p.m. presents Randy Jackson live in concert featuring Cheyenne. Randy Jackson, is that like Randy Jackson from the Jacksons? The Jackson 5? Oh, I don't know. Who is that? Let's find out. At the Regent Club on Friday night, Joey Casanova's got your favorite tunes. And Wild Wing Cafe in Dunwoody presents BFD. It's a 3-piece cover band from Johns Creek that plays modern rock hits of the 90s and the 2000s. They've been together for about 20 years. The Dixie Tavern has Electric Ave. That's my friend Kevin Spencer, and that's the 80s MTV experience. Okay, and Venkman's has Saved by the Band, which is a great band, at 10 p.m. Now, Saturday, Henry's Louisiana Grill has their weekly brunch. and that's super fun. Cardio blast, body design, personal training. It will work your butt off through Georgia Tech at 10 a.m. Inman Park is the Inman Park Festival and Tour of Homes. Now, Depot Park in downtown Kennesaw on Saturday, this is Saturday, right? Yes, Saturday, has their, it is their, at 1 p.m., it's a beer and wine fest. So if you're OTP and you're looking to start your day drinking out in Kennesaw, you can just head there. Chastain Park Conservancy at 4 p.m. has good eats and bocce. Now, all of this is on Facebook. You can find it in the events and Facebook. You can look on Living Atlanta as well. Pure Tecaria in Roswell as 7 p.m. Tom McNulty live on the rooftop. Love rooftops and patios. And Mad Life Stage and Studio in Woodstock has the Red Hot Chili Peppers tribute. It's Carolina-cation at 7:30. The Painted Pin, 8 p.m. Afterglow Live. It's all set to rock your Saturday night at the Painted Pin. It's supposed to be a lot of fun there. Saturdays at the Regent Club, of course, it goes back to Grace Lamar playing all your favorites. Wild Wings in Dunwoody has it's Fantabulous returns live at 9 p.m. And 37 Main in Beaufort at 10 p.m. is Slippery When Wet. It's a tribute to Bon Jovi. They're a lot of fun. Now, Sunday at Venkman's is 12:30 p.m. is Bottomless Mimosa Brunch with the Trio Deluxe, Rio Deluxe. And they have a great brunch there with music. Gypsy Kitchen at 4 p.m. is Bask in the Sun launch party. So that's their patio launch party. They have them every Sunday during this good weather season. It's a lot of fun. They have lots of food and music and $6 glasses of rosé every Sunday. And it begins at 4 o'clock. Now, Atlanta Punchline has the open mic competition at 9 p.m. It's their Sunday night comedy festival. One winner gets $50 every week. Cosmic Gypsies are at Johnny's Hideaway at 8:30 p.m. So that's it. Now, next week I have, tentatively, because we don't know if he's going to get called into court, Ray Giudice is going to be on next week. We're going to talk about, he doesn't know yet, but I'm going to tell him soon. We're going to talk about, in the first segment, the legalization of marijuana and what that means for parents and kids and everything that's going on with that. We're going to talk about, during the Just Steph Rules of Dating, the Georgia laws on stalking and cyberbullying. And then we're going to talk about the ERA. So we've got some legal stuff going on next week. It's going to be a lot of fun, though, because Ray's a blast. And that's all I got. So you got to follow me on Facebook if you want to hear more of Just Steph. If you want to get up close and personal with Just Steph, of course, you can hire me at your company for a lunch and learn. I'll come in there and teach you all about aligning with your purpose so that when you're doing your job, you're much more productive. I'll come in and do a lunch and learn. You can actually have me come in and do one of my signature workshops, like the Ruby Slipper workshops, and of course hire me to speak at one of your gigs, and I can MC as well. You can find me on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Steph Palermo, Instagram just one. I'm on Snapchat, but you know, that's for the kids. And of course my YouTube channel, I'm everywhere. Savoir Faire is everywhere, don't miss me. And I'll be out there doing my thing. And look for my blogs. Check me out on juststeph.com. There's so much happening with Just Steph. You don't want to miss it. Okay, kids, that's it. That's all I got for you this week. And, you know, really, I truly love you all. You're all dear to my heart. I love you. I love my listeners. I love my followers on social media. So please like and share my posts. Get your friends to follow me so that I can do more for all of you. The more, you know, so I want to give back. So please help me out by following me and sharing all my stuff. And because I want to come to your city or town if you're listening from outside of Georgia. I'm hoping to get to LA and maybe do one of my workshops out there. And I want to bring what I've learned in my journey to all of you. So know I love you all. Wishing you love, balance, and peace. Ciao, ciao, baby. Love you.